I'm Priyanshu Kumath, an IIT Bombay alumnus, and I restore water bodies. At some point, we have dreamt of an ideal house, which is near a water body, full of fishes. The birds fly in the air, cool wind caressing our face. The view is awesome, right? But living near water bodies today in urban areas is far from that dream, right? Fishes do not survive in the water bodies. Birds no longer flock to these places. There's solid waste everywhere. The waterborne diseases and deaths are rampant. And the foul stench is affecting our mental peace and happiness. But what if I told you that I have cracked the code to restoring the water bodies so that you can one day realize your dream of living around these water bodies? By a PPP model, a public-private partnership model, I'm able to restore these water bodies and
any accomplishments so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Turn this into a financially profitable venture and not just an environmental initiative.
Cool. Thank you, man. Thank you. Oh, immediate thumbs up. मेरे question भी नहीं पूछ रहे थे यार ये लोग एकदम इतने excited हैं.
We were waiting. At least I was waiting to put this.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to. Yeah. Okay. So by the way, I'm really happy, Priyanshu. Your pitch was solid.
Thanks, Neda.
So we had a chat before, and I'm glad that you brought in all the changes. Yeah. But yeah.
So Sahil, basically, I am very curious on how he's trying to number one monetize it. That is my first thing I am very, very curious about. And number two, how is he going to execute whatever he's pitching? Because that is something that is dependent on a lot of factors. It is not like if I want to build a product, I can build it on my own and give it. It is something more
of a complex damn problem, right?
Yeah, exactly. Plus, there's a public angle, which also is something I'm curious to know how that is being tackled. So maybe we can get right into the.
Okay, in that case, let me reset the timer to 6 minutes because we got extra minute here right now.
Yeah.
So got it. Go ahead, please. Now, what is your name again? Priyanshu. Sorry, Priyanshu. Go ahead and explain further, yeah.
Great. Nivedan, can I share my screen? I think
no, that won't be an option.
Great, no problem. So, Vamsi Sahil, how I'm kind of going about restoring water bodies is a PPP model. What I'm telling the government is, hey, you have to solve this problem. You don't have the technical expertise, and you're short on budget too, right? What if I come in, put in all of the budget required to restore the water bodies, and then I generate revenue through boating, fishing, tourism, advertisements around the water bodies, setting up a hydroponics units on the dry part of the lakes, selling it through a lake shop, and other things, underwater farming, setting up a nursery around the water bodies. So I have multiple revenue streams through which I'm able to monetize this. And despite a 10% cost of finance, giving a 5% share of the profit to the government and withdrawing a 10% profit share myself, I'm still able to get a payback period of less than 3 years. So think of this as building a company like Renew Power from scratch. Only here the assets are not solar parks, but water bodies. That's how I'm kind of going.
And have you done it with anyone else yet? Is there any pilot project you have?
So I'm in the process of setting up my first pilot project. So I've been in the water sector for over 5 years now. I've delivered over 20 sewage treatment plants. I've worked on 12 water bodies. I make a product called floating wetlands, which is a biological and a natural means to leverage the power of wetlands in clean nature. So I've kind of 8 paid projects for that, worth 25 lakhs. I've kind of recently got a grant of 20 lakhs from the Government Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And in my normal manufacturing installation business, where I manufacture these floating islands and supply it, I'm also kind of closing in on a project greater than 50 lakhs this month itself. So the services or the manufacturing business is going good, but that's primarily a B2G segment, right? Manufacturing and supplying to the government. And that's what I'm trying to transition out of and come into a B2C plus B2B space, because then I would just have to take the permission from the government, but the revenue is going to flow in from the consumers and the businesses that will advertise on the lake. So the money no longer need to come from the government, which was the real pain point.
And have you budgeted for the time it will take for these approvals and time to get the operation started? Because that's where I think all plans go for waste, right?
You're exactly right there. So the rate determining step is actually taking the permissions. But the thing is, once we do a pilot and showcase a pilot project, right, then it's really about the government giving us the rest of their water bodies on lease to us, right? We've shown them one, they would tell, okay, now take all of these 10, 20 remaining lakes from us as well and restore them by PPP. So that scaling up phase would be very quick, although there would be a slight
Priyanshu, quick question. You said you've done some piloting projects already, right? How many?
Those are projects for manufacturing, supplying and installing floating wetlands, like a normal vendor or service provider. On the PPP project, I'm in the process of setting up my first pilot project. So I'm already.
You haven't done the pilot for this model yet. You're pre-pilot in that.
That's right. So
and you have a promise LOI or something?
Yes, so I'm in the process to getting out that document. They've agreed verbally, and I'm kind of also getting a grant. So kind of looking to put all of this together and execute.
So you're not going to take any money from the government here apart from grant?
That's right. On the contrary, giving revenue to the government.
How far back did you apply for this partnership which you are now getting the letter for?
Good question.
So I began the conversation in just a month back. And I pitched it to them. They agreed verbally, right? That, hey, you're not taking any funds from us and giving us revenue and solving a problem for us and a single agency, single point of contact. So they said, okay, do it, and then choose a lake which you want to pilot.
Yeah, what I've heard is if you want to ask for money from the government, you're in trouble usually. That's what I've heard from people who work with government.
And do you have any connects in the government by any chance?
Yeah, a few. So I come from Indore and can't be better placed to ride the Swachh Bharat mission wave, right? So have a few local contacts here, and also looking to kind of network with other. So since I began by setting up sewage treatment plants, I have a good network of people in the water sector in Bangalore, Hyderabad, etc. So I'm kind of looking to expand to there as well once I do my pilot.
Got it. Any other questions, guys?
No, I think it is it's a curious thing how he is going to execute this, number one. And also, I think it will take some time to see a bit of results for us to...
Right. It's a very new thing. It's hard to imagine until we see some, right?
Yeah.
But it sounds plausible that, okay, the partnership model, one, and the lake, when it is turned around, I can have a rough visualization in my head that, यार एक center में lake है, यहाँ कुछ तो खेती चल रही है, एक underwater भी चल रही है, लोग boating कर रहे हैं. Right? That kind of an image is being formed in my head as he was beautifully painting the picture of. I think we've anyway close to this time. Let's move on to that part, Priyanshu, where...
Sorry, one last thing.
Sure.
Apart from the cost of finance and revenue, you should also have some other costs built into the arrangement because you're dealing with the government. So I hope that's factored into your business plan.
That is.
Beep movement.
Yeah, you should brief that, but yeah, just what
that is figured out.
I don't know. Did anyone understand what he's saying? God knows, man.
I mean, even I didn't know what I said.
Yeah, come on, Sahil. Okay, so got it. Now we're going to move to this part. Hold on, where is my timer? This is the part where Priyanshu, you make specific 2 asks. What can help you break through to your next targets? And these guys will try their best.
Got it. So I have pretty specific asks. What I want help on is kind of refining the business model, right? I could raise funds through through equity capital in the beginning and maybe scale through debt and private equity later. I could get funding through CSR or grants, or I could get other investors on board as well. And in terms of structuring this with the government, I could either pay them a 5% profit share throughout, even after the payback is achieved, or I could get a moratorium of 3 years, 5 years, and start paying the government after the payback is achieved. So kind of looking for mentorship on the business and finance end, and also how to kind of cut down on this time period of getting these projects from the government. And my second ask is then, once we have kind of figured out the business model, I'm also looking for great co-founders to make this possible. I have a few people in mind, but given what kind of business model we finalize here and refine this to, that's my second ask.
You're looking for partnership structuring and co-founders. Is that correct in short? Okay.
That's right.
Guys, is there something you can help him with?
I do not, maybe I might not be able to contribute very directly here, but I know people who are working in very similar segments, and also people who are running sustainability funds who might have the right connects that can work. I mean, maybe make it happen in whichever direction you want to steer it to, but I can maybe provide the contacts who can support on that front that way. Not very sure how it will support, but I think they will be useful at some point. Yeah.
I think sustainability funds would definitely have contacts. I don't think there is any doubt in that. So thank you so much, Vamsi.
Yeah, Vamsi,
do put him in touch there. Sahil.
Yeah, I mean, similar. It's not very related. In the sense, it's a very niche field, but I think a couple of places where I know some people have worked with governments in these spaces and new projects. Maybe I can help you connect with them and understand. I mean, that might probably help you.
Got it. Perfect. And Priyanshu, I might have someone who might get you more connects in the government. Not sure partnership and all. I'm not sure if that is he's the right person, but he runs one of the biggest education and non-profit education foundations in the country. Great guy. He's a very generous person, and he has a lot of connects in the bureaucrat and community and some politicians as well. By the virtue of it, and they also operate on this model. They never ask for any money from the government, and they all right now operate 20,000 schools for the government. By the way,
That's great.
End to end. Okay, so you know that this person would know some people there. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I wanted to ask Priyanshu, are you in any way related to Priyanshu Kumath?
No.
Okay. No, because you're IIT Bombay. And
I know Priyanshu. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. Wondering. Okay. Thank you so much, Priyanshu. We loved hearing this thing. I was always excited about the idea. I think there need to be more people who come up with business model solutions to social, environmental problems and cultural problems. I think there needs to be businesses around these, because there is no other way of making change happen. Otherwise, you're going to sit down and wait for the government to make that change. So thank you for taking that initiative. It means a lot. People who love lakes, who love water bodies, are going to become fans of this model. So you will never have a trouble selling your vegetables underwater. You will never have trouble, attracting people to the boating sites. I'm just saying the ecosystem is sorted on day one.
Yeah.
That I have no doubts about. It's only a matter of government partnership, cracking it, the financials of it, how much it costs.
I've seen it. It works in Mumbai. I mean, I've seen it in a couple of locations. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. So the next step for you, Priyanshu.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Awesome. I hope this was useful. So just reach out to them on LinkedIn, and guys, whenever you can find time, there is no urgency of doing anything. I know that you guys are busy, both of you. So take your time, but do figure out a way to put him in touch with the right people. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Okay.
Thank you, Priyanshu. Bye.